Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on February the 3rd, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of overall, first of all, what do we have? The stimulus bill. So the focus is back on the stimulus bill, and it looks like the Democrats are trying to pass $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. So we will see how that plays out right now. We'll see if it actually gets passed through the Senate or not. So that is a positive thing for the equity markets. So there's that. And then other than that, we saw silver was being pushed around. We did see a drop in the price of silver. Coming up here on Wednesday, we have PMI numbers out of the Eurozone. So PMI numbers are precursors to our retail sales. They're leading indicators from fundamental standpoints. So this is these will be important numbers. And if we see that they come in line with expectations or better, this will be a positive thing for euro. So we'll keep an eye on that. We also have OPEC meetings tomorrow. So oil has gone up as a result of all the positive things, stimulus around stimulus hopes. So with the OPEC meetings, what we are looking for here would be how they plan to, what their outlook is, how they plan to proceed. If they stay with the production cuts or they don't increase the production, then this will be a positive sign for oil, and we could see the price of oil go up as a result of that. Now, we do have ADP non-farm payroll numbers here from the US. These numbers are precursor to the non-farm payroll numbers that we'll get on Friday. So any kind of positive numbers here will be positive for the US dollar here. And then we also have PMI numbers out of the US, so we'll keep an eye on that. And that is it in terms of our major news for the day. So let's go on to our charts here. All right, so euro dollar here, we were looking for a drop yesterday. We got that. It came into 1.200, and then we have seen a bounce off of this level here. So at this point, today's candle close is a neutral. We did see that drop, but price seems to be bouncing off of this level. So we need to be careful now because we may see a move back up again. And if it goes through today's high at a 1.2080, then we are back into this range once again, and we're likely to see price go there. So all right, so this is looking neutral, neutral to slightly bearish here. It still has the bearish tone, but the important thing would be the 1.20 level. Another thing, actually, when we see a continuation, generally this is the type of move that we tend to see. We see a pullback and then a further drop. But overall, today's candle close is neutral. So neutral to bearish bias here. So this is where we need to see price go through in order to continue. So neutral to bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one is looking neutral as well. It hasn't been able to break through the support. So watch out for that. And in this case, we are likely to see a move back. So looking for a neutral move here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one is looking neutral as well. We did see that nice drop. It back tested the yesterday's high, dropped, and now we see that price again has bounced back here as well. So in this case, I will look for a pullback towards 0.7630, and then once it holds, we can look for a further move lower here. But watch out for the move higher back into retesting this level here as well. So the thing that we'll have to watch here would be also how the stock markets are doing. With the stock markets going up, with the more, if we hear more about the stimulus bill, or we hear positive things about the stimulus bill getting passed, that would be negative for the US dollar and positive for the stock market. So this is where we'll have to monitor how things play out over the next couple or the next few days here as we hear more about the stimulus bill. So overall, Right now, neutral bias here, and just watch out for a turnaround because we could see a move back again into the range. So neutral bias here. Right now, I'm looking for a move between 0.7660 and 0.7550. New Zealand dollar here, this one is looking bullish. As we can see, price dropped a bit, but couldn't really go through the support level here. Today's candle close was bullish, so looking for price to go higher towards 0.7250. So New Zealand dollar is looking bullish. Dollar CAD here, this one as well went into resistance here, and then as we have a nice bearish candle close, bearish engulfing candle close here, so looking for a further drop here towards a 1.2750. So bias here is bearish, and then next target is a 1.2685. So bearish bias for dollar CAD. Euro pound here, this one is also looking bearish. As we can see, price is holding here below the support resistance level. So I'm looking for a further move to the downside here. Target is 0.8785. So this is bearish. Euro Swiss franc here, this one also looking bearish. Price went into resistance, couldn't make it through here, and now we're looking for a further drop here, looking for a continuation of this move lower. So bias here is bearish. Target is 1.0780. Pound Swiss franc here, this one's still pushing higher. As we can see, pound is still bullish. Next target here is 1.2320. Now, only thing to keep in mind here would be price has not been able to break through the resistance. So what could happen here is price goes into 1.2290, and then we could see a turnaround here. So do keep that in mind. But right now it is still maintaining the bullishness. And in this case, the first target is 1.2290 and then 1.2320. Dollar Swiss franc here, this seems to be running into trouble right now. And as we see here, price is into strong resistance level here, support turning into resistance. We have a neutral candle close. So chances are we are likely to see a drop here back towards the support at 0.8920. So neutral to slightly bearish bias here for dollar Swiss franc. Pound yen here, this one also looking neutral at the moment. It is holding here, and if it continues to hold above 142.90 or 143 here, chances are we will see another leg higher. So right now, neutral bias here, and first target here is 144. So bullish bias. Neutral to bullish bias here for pound yen. But if it doesn't break this high, then we are back into the range once again. So we'll keep an eye on it, but neutral to bullish bias. As long as it holds above 143 here, it is still bullish. Euro yen here, this one's neutral to bearish. We see prices still holding that bearishness here, but overall this is still in a range. Right now, this is where we are, right into this support level here. We could see a drop through that, so watch out for that. So bias here is neutral to bearish. First target is 125.75 here, but watch out for the support here at 126.20, because this is where we could see things turn, and we may see a move like that. So we'll have to keep an eye. 126.20 is the first here, and then 125.75 is the target. Dollar yen here, this one looks like this may drop here as well. Price is into resistance, so it did try to break through, and we are back. So in this case, I am looking for a bit of a drop here, and target is 104.40. So neutral to bearish bias here for dollar yen as well. Aussie yen here, this one is neutral here. Today's candle close, as we can see, completely neutral. It went in both directions. So in this case, we may see a move in the range here. I will look for a retest of the 79.50 level, and if it holds above, we're looking for a move back into the range. So bias at this point is neutral. It's still stuck in this range. It's been stuck in this range for several days now. New Zealand yen, this one breaking through this resistance here, so looking bullish. And in terms of our target here, first target here is 76.00, and then beyond that we're looking at 76.50, so bullish bias for New Zealand yen. CAD yen here, this one also trying to push through. It's still stuck in a range though. It's right into the top of the range. So last few times price was here, it failed to go through. So this is an important support resistance level. We'll have to watch out here. But in terms of overall bias, still looking bullish. So right now I'm going to say neutral to bullish, because if it could fail right here, so watch out for that. But once it gets through, we're looking at 82.60 and then 82.80. So bias here is bullish for CAD yen, but with caution. Pound New Zealand, nice bearish candle close for the day, looking for a further drop here towards 1.8920 here. So a bearish bias here, and next target is 1.8840. So bearish bias for Pound New Zealand. Euro New Zealand breaking out of this lower bound here, looking quite bearish here. And in this case, the next target here, the next target here is 1.6650, and then below that we have 1.6620. So bias here is bearish for Euro New Zealand. EUROCAD here, a big drop here, looking bearish still. Next target is 1.5330 for EUROCAD. Pound CAD also looking bearish here, looking for price to drop further. Target is 1.7420. Euro Aussie here, this one is neutral. In this case, we see price has gone in both directions. So we may get a retest here before we see a drop. So neutral to slightly bearish bias here for Euro Aussie. First target would be the low of the day, which is 1.5765. And then if it holds above, we are still in a range. But once it manages to break down, then we'll target the next level. So right now, this is neutral here. Pound Aussie here, this one is stuck in a range over the last few days. It hasn't really done a whole lot. At this point, as we can see, last 2 days here in a row, price hasn't really been able to find a direction here. So in this case, I will look for a retest and then potential drop here. So bias is neutral, looking for price to trade within this range right now. So neutral bias for Pound Aussie. All right, let's take a look at our commodities here. Silver. Silver has been part of some market manipulation here, and we heard back and forth. Basically, some people or a lot of stories in the media claiming that there were comments or there was basically Wall Street bets on the Reddit forum. On Reddit, they were trying to push the price of silver higher. But then there's also comments saying that that was not the case. It's media or the hedge funds basically manipulating the market. So at this point, we don't know what the truth is, but as we can see, price has bounced off of that level. So as we can see, the rise in price here wasn't real price going up. It was just more market manipulation than anything else. And this is where we are seeing that volatility and adjustment. So we do have a nice bearish candle close here. I will look for a retest at 27.40 and then further drop here in price of silver. So bias here is bearish, and target here, first target is 26.00. And then below that, we are looking at 25.25, so bearish bias here for silver. Gold here, gold also dropped. This is still trading in a range, and now it's looking or it's more towards the bottom of the range. So looking for price to retest the base here. But if it doesn't go through, watch out for that move back into the range. So this is a solid support that price has held for some time now. So it will turn bearish here once it goes through the support. So right now, neutral to bearish bias here. First target is 1828. Only if it goes through that, then we are targeting 1803. So neutral to bearish bias here for gold. Oil here, oil looking quite solid, and as we can see, continuing to move higher, still has that momentum, so bias is bullish here. Next target is 55.60, back into these levels here, and then beyond that, we are looking at 56.65. So only thing to keep in mind here for oil will be the OPEC meetings tomorrow, which can cause changes in price. So we'll have to watch out for the comments. But for now, bullish bias here for oil. Copper here, copper still has that bearish here. So as we can see, price still trending lower here. We have the triangle. So bias is bearish, but watch out here. We are right into support. This is where price has struggled before. Even with this candle here, the latest candle, price wasn't able to break through the support. So we could quite easily get this type of a move. So just watch out. But bias here is bearish here. Target is 3.45 and then 3.36. So bearish bias, just with caution here. Bitcoin here looking bullish. It did manage to go through the resistance there. So now we're looking at a further move higher towards 26,850. So bullish bias here for Bitcoin, but it is still trading within this range. So we're looking for a move higher within the range. Stock market here looking quite positive with all the positive talk about the stimulus bill getting passed. This is looking bullish. Next target here is 3870, but watch out for that resistance because we may see it come into trouble there. But bias here is bullish for S&P 500. NASDAQ here still looking bullish. First target here is 13,600. And then beyond that, we're looking at 13,800. So bias here is bullish for NASDAQ as well. And of course, Dow Jones also looking bullish here. In this case, first target would be 31,000. And then we are at 31,140. So this is also bullish. And DAX, of course, not getting left behind. Big move higher here and still looking bullish. Next target is 14,000. FTSE also looking bullish. First target here is 6550, and once it gets through that, next is 6600. So bias here is bullish for FTSE as well. And of course, Nikkei as well looking bullish here. I will look for a move back higher here towards 28,750. So bullish bias here for Nikkei as well. So that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.